So there's this crazy article that I read online that came out of the Daily Wire, and when I saw the headline, I had to read it, and so I want to talk about it and read a little bit of it here with some of my responses to this article. So the title of the article: Mexican presidential candidate calls for mass exodus to the U.S. Find a life in the United States, he says. So this is the presidential candidate running in Mexico, the front runner, who I had read about him in another article a couple of days ago, is a radical leftist, a socialist. And he's running to be president of Mexico, and his prime message: all Mexicans, go find a life for yourself in America. That's what this guy's running on. A Mexican presidential candidate has called upon his fellow countrymen to flood the United States with a mass exodus, calling it a human right. What about my human rights? What about the rest of the American citizens' human rights? When do we have a say in our land? Why is it that we just simply have to accept that it's a human right for anyone who wants to come here to just come here? And they don't even have to assimilate. This isn't even about assimilation. He's telling his people to mass migrate into the United States and make a better life for themselves while running to be president of their nation. Now, he's got like some plans to retool Mexico a little bit, I guess, to make it more socialist. I don't know. But what difference will it make since he's telling everybody to leave and come here? According to a report from El Universal, candidate Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Why do they always do that? Like on a newscast or something, a news broadcast, they'll be speaking just English. All of a sudden they'll get to this like Spanish word, the Spanish name, a place, and they break into a Spanish accent. And then as soon as the name is over, it's like right back to English. Like, it's so weird. Like, you're talking two different dialects in one broadcast just because the name of the person that you read is a Spanish name. Why do you do that? It never made any sense to me. But I digress. So Obrador's message to his people that they should flee Mexico to find a life in the United States, which is a pretty dismal message from a presidential candidate, says the Daily Wire. Yeah, it is a pretty dismal message, but it's so much worse than that. It's a call for an invasion. He's saying, elect me and go invade our neighbors to the north, the United States, whom it's also playing on a political issue because of everything that's going on. I mean, obviously, so this guy is not running on a Mexican platform. He's running on an anti-American platform, and one of invasion, albeit not with the military, since Mexico don't really have a military to invade us with, and boy, would that not work. But if he tells all his people to flood America and he encourages them to illegally cross the border, I mean, that is a call for an invasion. And soon, very soon, after the victory of our movement, we will defend all migrants in the American continent and all migrants in the world, Obrador said on Tuesday, while calling on the people to leave their towns and find a life in the United States. That's pure madness. I mean, there should be some kind of political reaction to this, I would imagine. Like telling your people to go flood a border seems like not a very good thing to do for international friendships, for border, I mean, we share a border. You're telling these people to go and mass cross a border illegally, knowing that that's against the policies of the United States. This fleeing to the United States would be a human right we will defend. That's their message. The election stands less than 2 weeks away, and Obrador is currently the front runner. He has run on a ticket opposing President Trump's policies towards Mexico. So again, he's not running on a pro-Mexico agenda. He's not saying, I'm running to make Mexico great again. He's running on an anti-America, anti-Trump platform. That is like insane. That sounds almost like a declaration of war to me. Except again, they don't have a military, and if we'd swat them away in seconds. But this is like a non-military declaration of war via invasion. This is insane that a presidential candidate could say something like that. So the article goes on to talk about some of his ideas for Mexico, although it doesn't seem to be a worthwhile point because he's telling everybody to leave Mexico to come here. But why not run on a platform to make Mexico great again? Unless you truly just want to invade the United States, change the United States, change the demographics of the United States to favor the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, aka global communism. That's the true nature of the beast, now coming politically out of Mexico directly in such a fashion. That's already been the plan of the progressive lefts in the United States. In the West, in Canada, Justin Trudeau, the EU importing all the migrants from Africa and Muslim countries and things like that. It's a complete invasion. And then they're going to turn around and say that it's a worldwide human right, that for some reason everybody in the world, every third world country, anybody who wants to come to the United States and not even assimilate to become an American, but just to chip away at the United States, it's your human right and you're welcome to do it. Well, no, that's not, because I have human rights too. We have human rights. We're Americans. We live here. This is our land, our country, our home. And we have the right to protect it and defend it. We have laws. And if you're going to break those laws, we have the right to detain you, arrest you, deport you. So this is utter madness. And I thought I wanted to share it just in case if it hasn't broken out yet as something worth talking about. I think it is, especially with everything going on right now in the media using these fake, the time cover, fake news pictures like that. J-Lo spreading fake news with like using a picture from 2014 from like Iraq or something like that. So this is ridiculous. This is a pure invasion of the United States. And I say, why do we have to take this? We have human rights too. I mean, if it wasn't for America, there really wouldn't be a thing of human rights. Tell me where in the third world you find these human rights. Human rights are only to be had in the West. The very West that these people want to destroy, the leftists, the progressives, the communists, the invading people, this leftist Mexican presidential candidate. The goal is to destroy the United States of America, but I'll tell you what, we're not going to let that happen. Americans are going to fight for our home. The West is going to fight for our values, and don't expect us to take this lying down. And this is why they're so outraged with Donald Trump, because he is saying no. He's given us the voice to say no, and they don't like that very much. So anyway, what do you think about this? Let me know. Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. But for now, that's all I got, and I'm out of here.